This is Mountain Vision. Welcome to the Wildcats Football Coaches Show, your home for all things Flint River football, with Wildcats head coach Josh Dare and your host David Carden.
Let's go!
Welcome to Flint River Wildcat Coaches Show with head coach Josh Dare. I'm your host David Carden. Flint River fell at home 15-6 to the Gatewood Gators last Friday night during their homecoming game. Coach, not the outcome you wanted, but y'all played really well on defense.
Yeah, we did. Our defense stepped up. They run the triple option. And anytime you run the triple option, it's took us all week to prepare for it, making sure that we had the dive covered, the quarterback and the pitch covered. And our guys, I think we had one hiccup where the quarterback got loose, but other than that, we held them to where they couldn't even run the triple option. All of the offense that they had was off of other stuff. So I was really proud of the defense. They flew around. They played fast. They played quick, and then got to the ball, and they gang tackled. They had a really good running back, number 5. He's a real big kid, 6'1", 6'6", 185, 190 pounds, and he's hard to bring down by yourself. So we did a good job of flying around and getting helmets to the football and gang tackling him. And there was times where 2 guys would try to get him down and we couldn't, and the third came and finally got him down. So our defense played unbelievable. You're talking about a team that I know they scored 60 against one team, scored 35 last week, 40 the week before. Just a team that's probably averaging in the 40s for their offense, and we held them to 15. I mean, they scored twice, and couldn't have been more proud of the defense.
Yeah, to shut down that option, you really got to play assignment football. You got to stick with your guy, and that's what you got to do. You saw a lot of that out of the kids?
No, they did great. Absolutely, they were really focused. They knew what we had to do, and they knew we had to stop them because they could get loose. We let number 5 loose one time. He went for 79 in the second half. Right after we had scored to make it 7-6, and then the next drive they were second and long actually, and gave it to him on a little pitch, and he cut all the way back across the field and went 79 yards, and we had him bottled up, and he made a great play. And other than that run, we did a great job with them. In the second half, they had 2 first downs. That's all. They had 275 of total yards. So I mean, we couldn't have been more proud. Every time the quarterback dropped back to pass, he had somebody hanging on him. We probably had 4 or 5 sacks. And everything that they do is quick passing game. It's not like they're back there taking 5-step drops. It's 1, 2, 3, get rid of the ball. And they hurt us a little early in the first half with their wide receiver, number 17. He's a sophomore. He's about 6'4", 6'3". He's a really good-looking athlete. And they lobbed a couple up to him, and he went up and caught. I know he caught 1. He may have caught 2 in the first half. But after that, they really couldn't do much because we were coming so hard, and our linebackers were getting there. Sam Bagley had a great game. I know he had 2 sacks. He may have had more than that. So, defense, unbelievable, all of them. So.
Yeah, they had a nice play there on their first possession to set up a touchdown, just a little inside slant, and were able to get it all the way down to the 1. Yeah. Was that something y'all missed coverage on, or just?
No, we were blitzing. We were coming. We were pinning our ear back, and we were coming because we knew if we just sat back that they were capable to just drive down the field on us, and we weren't going to let them get comfortable and just drive down the field. If they're throwing, that's not what they want to do. They're an option football team, and they want to give the ball to number 5 and give it to their fullback. And we knew our game plan was to not let them do that. And they hit us on a little slant and went to the goal line. But I mean, it was I think they were inside the 20 when they threw it, so it was a 15-yard slant. We came up, made the play, and they ended up scoring off of it. So when you're blitzing and committing to stopping the run, you're going to give up some pass plays. But with that being said, our secondary did play good because they only had that slant that they completed. They completed a couple to 17, and that was it. They completed 1 out to 11, but we didn't give up 50 yards in passing.
Yeah. And Jacob Chester had a nice interception.
Yeah, they did. He did, absolutely. I think Chase Lewis had to come off the field we punted to them, and I think there were 3 or 4 guys that got knocked out on one play. And Chase had to come off, so Jacob came on, and Jacob does a great job for us. all week preparing at corner just in case somebody goes down, and he was out there, and they ran a slant, and he covered it well, and they threw it, and he was in the position to make the play and got a pick. So that was great to see.
Yeah, it looked like he was running the route, not the receiver on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was step to step with that guy, and that guy can move, and he just, he was in the right position, and the quarterback didn't make a perfect throw, and that's what you teach your secondary guys. If they make a perfect throw, it is what it is. If they can make a perfect throw on slant every time, there's no defense to stop the slant. But you just got to be in position to where if they don't make that perfect throw, that you're there, and that's what happened. So he did a great job.
You mentioned the punt coverage, a couple of breakdowns. They had a couple of decent returns on their punt returns.
Yeah, we there were a couple times. There was one time where it was really noticeable that our guys were just kind of jogging downfield. A lot of our punt, we don't get a lot of return yards against us because we spread out and we're snapping from 15 yards. So by the time the ball gets back there, by the time he punts it, by the time they catch it, we normally have guys down there. So I think it was just a case where our guys just got lazy and decided they were going to jog around and just assuming that they were going to fair catch it like most teams have done against us because we haven't given up return yards. And they started jogging around, and then they started getting blocked. Next thing you know, there were seams everywhere. So, yeah, that was something that we are definitely going to dress up this week. And, if we got to make some changes, we might make some changes there too. So,
well, maybe some different players in? Or?
Well, yeah, you would think because we got a couple guys on there that's one of the only things that they're on. They got to take more pride in what they do. If that's one of the only things you're on, you better be great at it, and you better not be jogging because you're sitting on the sideline. You should be fresh. So it's something we'll address and dress up and move forward with. So.
On one of y'all's punt returns, it looked like y'all might have been looking maybe a fake or setting up a little reverse there. Is that?
Yeah. Well, we decided to keep Parker deep. He was hurt and he played very little. We decided to keep him deep on punt return because of how well he catches the ball. And so we decided that we have a reverse in, and if it was kicked to Parker, he was going to give it to James on the reverse. And if it was kicked to James like it was, then he was just going to fake the reverse to Parker. And that's not something we practice a ton, but it's something we have. And James caught it and just kind of faked it to Parker and just kept it around the edge. So.
Yeah, he still picked up good yardage keeping it himself.
He did.
Without giving too much away, is that something y'all might actually try the reverse if you need to down the line?
Well, we haven't actually had a lot of chances to return this year. We really preach just make sure we catch it, let's get the ball and get our offense on the field. So we may have something in later on just in case we need a big play. It's like Friday night, we were having a hard time moving it, so we decided, hey, we got to take a chance and try to score on special teams or find another way to get the ball in the end zone, and that's what we try to do. And it's something we'll keep working on, and it'll probably be a big play for us later on.
I know early on in the game, I think it was y'all's first possession, y'all had a fourth down. Instead of punting it, y'all had the offense out there, and y'all were trying to get Gatewood to jump.
Yeah.
They didn't bite. Yeah,
no, their defense was very sound, very disciplined. They did a great job. They're probably the best defense we've played all year. They've got a nose guard and two tackles that really control the middle. Their linebackers were flying around the football. Their defensive ends are, they got one end that's probably 6'1", 6'2", 195 pounds, and the other end, which is 17, the big receiver, he's 6'3", 6'4", 180 pounds. So the big, long guys, so it's hard to get around them on the edge, and then they got those big guys in the middle to make sure they shut down the running game. So we were just trying to, find a way to get a cheap first down, and they were disciplined and sound about it, and it didn't work, so we punted it away. So.
Yeah, Murphy had a nice play as the punter snap over his head. Yeah. He went back, retrieved it, and was still able to get the punt off of it. A good punt at that.
Yeah, well, they weren't blitzing. They were trying to just set up a return, and so with the bad snap, he called it, and he kept his composure and turned around. He saw that he had space. There was just one guy coming at him, so he just punted it away and turned it something that could have been a disaster into a positive play for us. So
I was just kind of keep calm and do what you needed to do there, and it worked out for him.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all had some issues at quarterback. I know Parker Williams was dealing with an injury, and then during the game, James Murphy got a little banged up.
Yeah.
Got a little tough there towards the end of the game.
It did. It did. We knew coming into it that it was going to be hard to throw on them because of how good their ends were. So everything that we just tried, just get rid of the ball quick, get it deep, because their tackles and their nose guard were big too. So it was going to be hard for us to keep them from getting pressure on the quarterback, and we didn't want him taking any big hits in the passing game. So a lot of stuff that we did was just, you know, one step and let it go and hopefully connect to a receiver down the sideline.
We'll be right back with more of head coach Josh Dare right after this.
Murray Company Realtors in Griffin offer a wonderful riverfront family home. This 2-story Victorian-style home located off Highway 18 along the Flint River features 3 bedrooms with 2 full and 1 half bath, open living room, and a full finished basement. Situated on more than 24 acres with a view of the Flint River, this beauty is over 3,300 square feet. Call Mark Hawkins today to view this lovely home. Looking to buy, sell, or rent? Murray Company Realtors is ready to meet your real estate needs.
Return to 1911 and enjoy art, antiques, crafts, delicious Southern food, and lively entertainment at the 83rd edition of the Cotton Pickin Fair, a Southeast Tourism Society Top 20 event, October 3rd and 4th in Gay, Georgia. Visit cpfair.org.
I'm Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue, and I'm here to tell you about the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. The versatility of the Big Green Egg is unmatched. It delivers big results as a grill, a smoker, and even an outdoor oven. When the doctor cooks, I demand the best, and that's why I cook on the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit Taylor Foster Hardware in Manchester and start enjoying the ultimate cooking experience on the Big Green Egg. Taylor Foster Hardware, Main Street in Manchester.
Welcome back to the Flint River Coaches Show with head coach Josh Dare. I'm your host, David Carden. Coach, you talked about that jet sweep there towards the end of the first half. Parker Williams didn't play many snaps on offense, but y'all did get him in there a couple of times and brought him across on those jet sweeps.
Yeah, his right shoulder was hurt, so running jet to the right was it was still risky, but it wasn't as risky because we had talked to him, and he's very athletic, very smart, and he knew to just make sure he was taking everything on with his left shoulder. So he was coming around the edge, and he had 2 really good runs for us. We just didn't want to risk it anymore. He played a little bit of quarterback just from when we knew we were going to catch it and hand it off. And he's really important to this team, so we just wanted to make sure that we got out of there with him not being any worse. So and then he threw this weekend, and I think his shoulder's coming around. So I'm not sure he won't be 100% this Friday, but he might be good enough to go. So
well, that's good news.
Absolutely.
So. And then James Murphy during the course of the game came up with a toe or ankle, leg injury.
He just got bent really weird and really hurt. And it's one of those things that was just really sore that night, and I saw him today, and he seemed to be feeling all right. So I think by Friday he'll be ready to roll.
That's good. So, those 2 guys are very important to that offense.
They are, and especially this Friday because we were relying on James at quarterback, and he did a great job for us. Did a really good job for us. And then with him going down, now we're asking our 3rd string, which was Brett, and we just we were very one-dimensional. So which is there's part them, but also part us being a little banged up, and. With the injuries that we have and the injuries that we had during Friday night, this team fought, man. They did a great job. That's a team that could have very easily blown us out. I mean, they could have beat us 40-6 like that, but our defense didn't let it happen, and our offense did everything they could to put drives together. And, we had it 1st and goal at the beginning of the 4th quarter, but we were just one-dimensional. We had Brett in the backfield, and we didn't want to do something stupid and have him throw a ball and get an interception or something. So we just gave it to him 4 times in a row, and it didn't work. But we were very, very pleased with the effort the kids gave. Because like I said, with the setbacks that we had during the game and setbacks we had going into the game, that very easily could have been a blowout. And our kids just fought. And I'm really excited about getting everybody healthy and pushing forward into the playoffs. So.
You mentioned y'all let Brett Williamson keep it a lot. To get down to that 1st and goal situation, he had 2 big runs out of that quarterback position.
He did. The last play of the 3rd quarter, he went for probably about 45, where he started off to the left, cut it all the way back across field, and got tackled about the 30, and then came out next play, first play of the 4th quarter, and it's actually the 2nd play of the 4th quarter. Quarterback keeper to the right, and he got inside. He got to the 4, and then it was 1st and goal from the 4, and we tried to go up the middle all 4 times, and we ran jet one time, and they stopped jet, and they clogged it up in the middle. So they did a lot of good things inside the red zone to stop us, but we were one-dimensional, and they knew what we were doing, and we were just going to, you know, that's what got us there. So we were going to stick with it and see if we could punch one in. So.
Yeah, when Cullen Evans ran that jet, he ran it out to the left side of the offense, and I thought he had a chance to get in, and that hole got shut down really quick.
Yeah, they're fast. They're really fast. Their secondary and their linebackers flow well. You know, there was a hole there, and he turned it up, and he ended up getting, I think, to the 2. And or actually, he might have even got to the 1. When he turned it up, they just came in and knocked him down, and it was 4th and goal from the 1 or from the 2, and we gave it to Brett, and you know, big nose guard through the center, threw the guard out of the way, and went and made the play. So.
Yeah, that was tough sledding through the middle against big number 99 for Gatewood.
He's a ball player. He was really good. He was tough to move, and he was their defensive scheme is really impressive. They do a good job. Their coaches do a real good job with them. They don't try to get upfield. You know, they don't want to come running up into the backfield. They just want to control the line of scrimmage. You know, we didn't have a lot of plays where we lost yardage, but that's not, they're not trying to make you lose yards. You know, because they don't want, if their defense is up here, now there's gaps if you're moving
between
forward.
The levels, yeah.
Right. So they're just trying to stay at the line of scrimmage, and they did a good job. And we tried to cut them, and you can't cut them because they're not moving forward. You know, when the ball snapped, they're kind of bench pressing you and trying to find the football and reading it. So now they're demanding a double team, and you know, we tried to double team the big guy all night, but after the game, one of the coaches said, well, when you look at our center and both of our guards, when you add their weight together, it equals that guy's weight. So it's not really a double team, you know. That guy, he's a big old joker. So we were trying to get him moved, and we had a hard time getting him moved. But, you know, we did rush for 170 yards. So, I mean, we did move the football a little bit. And, you know, anytime you rush for over 150, 200 yards against a team like that, you got to be happy with it. You know, we were one-dimensional all night. So we were pleased with the effort. So.
Y'all did connect on one pass play,
Yep.
halfback pass play. Y'all like to run a lot. Y'all ran it a little differently this time.
Yeah. Well, what happened was at the end of the second quarter, we were running jet, and we were starting to get yardage off of it. So we decided that, you know, we were going to run jet pass just because we knew going into halftime that that's probably what they were talking about, was the only thing that they hadn't stopped all night was our jet. So I think they went in and made some adjustments to jet. So we came out and we ran jet pass, and the corner actually didn't bite. The corner stayed deep and was running right with Cullen, but Cullen's one of the fastest kids on the team, and he just ran right by him. And James made a perfect throw. I mean, he threw it just right over the cornerback's head, and Cullen made a great pass, and the safety came over in the corner, and you're not catching Cullen in the open field.
Well, that's why I noticed at the end of that play, he really started to pull away from the defenders.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a track star. So when he gets to striding out, you're not catching him. So he's been great for us. He has been, I think that's 4 touchdowns in 6 games. So that's really impressive. So.
Yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 times a game, he's back there behind that defense.
That's right. It's up to us to get it to him. You know. So we're going to do some things to kind of change up kind of how he comes off the ball, maybe slow him down just a little bit, then release hard. That way we're not trying to overthrow, and we can actually make a better throw to him on the deep passes from the quarterback.
The double move or something?
Right. Okay. So in that way we're not having to throw it. We're not having to connect on a 50-yard pass. We're trying to more connect on a 35-yard pass, and I think that'll be something that helps the quarterbacks out.
I didn't see many wide receiver screens this week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, the way it works is you trade films with the schools for the past 2 or 3 films. So a lot of times, you know, stuff that we run early on, we know how it works and we're comfortable with it, and we'll just kind of hold off on it until, you know, big games come up. And we got a region game this week. So the films that they see, we know what plays they've seen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then we got Piedmont 3 or 4 weeks from now. So then we'll know what films they've seen and know what plays that they'll be preparing for. So, you know, we've got a lot of plays in right now, and we have some plays that we're just kind of holding off and waiting until the right time to bring them back. And you know, we're comfortable with everything we got in. We went under center this week. Ran the veer, and we're really happy about that and excited about that because we were able to move the ball a little bit early on. And that's just another thing that teams are going to have to prepare for when they're preparing for us. So.
Is that something new? I mean, I don't think I've seen y'all under center.
Yeah, we haven't been under center. Well, what happened was when we played Briarwood, our guys were going to the right guy. But we could only hold them there for so long because they outweighed us and they were stronger than us. So we decided, well, let's get some quick hitting stuff. So we went split back veer this week, and you know, if it wasn't for their nose guard, I think it would have been really, really effective. But their nose guard, he was controlling A and B, you know, and on both sides. And we couldn't get him moved. And you're talking about a guy that was arm tackling Brett. You know, he was just reaching out, grabbing Brett, and bringing him down. And it was like, he was a monster.
Well, a couple times he picked up Brett and kind of slung him to the ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, I think if you take him out of the equation, our veer really looks better this week. So that's just something that we're going to keep working on. And like I said, it's just another thing that teams are going to have to prepare for and be ready for when they play us. So.
That last possession, y'all were down 15-6, trying to drive, get some more points on the board, closing out the game, and y'all had put Parker Williams back in at quarterback.
Yep.
Was that, what were you thinking there?
Well, we were just putting him in to hand the ball off. You know, James was hurt, and we wanted to get the ball to Brett and maybe not have him at quarterback, and that way we had a running back in the game, which was him. So we were just getting him in to just kind of hand the ball off. That way Brett could get some momentum going one way or another. And just we had a bad snap late that really pinned us deep. So just like I said, we were very one-dimensional late in the game, and we were drawing in the dirt in the fourth quarter. We were trying to figure out anything we could to make plays and to move the ball. And you know, anytime you're down two quarterbacks, that's really tough. I mean, that's tough in college.
Yeah.
In the GISA, when we got 30 kids on our team, you know, when your two quarterbacks go down, your third string quarterback doesn't get a lot of reps during practice.
No.
So but with that being said, Brett did a great job catching and getting upfield. And yeah, we're like I said, we were trying to do anything late in the game, you know. So and then we had, you know, Quinlan went down, and he's our running back. So we were down two quarterbacks and a running back. And two running backs if you include James.
Murphy's played quarterback and running back.
Right,
So.
and then he's out of the game. Parker's out of the game. Quinlan's out of the game. So now we're sitting there with just Brett. And Cullen had done some practice at running back, but he wasn't comfortable in the shotgun. He didn't know the plays. So we ended up putting Dalton Bowen in the backfield with Brett, and just two big old boys, and just snapping it, and one following the other, and then let's go. And that's it hit, got us into the red zone. And you know, we were just, you know, like I said, the kids had every excuse to fold. They had every reason in the book to just say this is going to be too hard and quit, and they just refused to. I mean, Luke Hardaway was hobbling around. We had to take him off the defense and just let him play offense. So, I mean, we were banged up, and I don't think it's any serious injuries, just a lot of Friday night injuries to where you get banged up and have to come off the field. And our kids did a great job fighting, you know.
Well, that's one thing we've seen out of Flint River all year is y'all's fight and y'all's heart is never any give up.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we're in the SEC right now. You know, we're playing team, and I told them before the game, I said I love it this year because, you know, we don't have that week where practices aren't going real good because they know we're about to kill a team. We don't have that. You know, I mean, we got every week we're having to prepare, and if we don't prepare and do everything we're supposed to, we know we're going to get blown out. So the kids have been practicing pretty good, and you just got to keep pushing forward. So
we'll be right back with more from head coach Josh Deere right after this.
I'm Ray Lampy, Dr. Barbecue, and I'm here to tell you about the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. The versatility of the Big Green Egg is unmatched. It delivers big results as a grill, a smoker, and even an outdoor oven. When the doctor cooks, I demand the best, and that's why I cook on the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit Taylor Foster Hardware in Manchester and start enjoying the ultimate cooking experience on the Big Green Egg. Taylor Foster Hardware, Main Street in Manchester.
Return to 1911 and enjoy art, antiques, crafts, delicious Southern food, and lively entertainment at the 83rd edition of the Pickin Fair, a Southeast Tourism Society Top 20 event, October 3rd and 4th in Gay, Georgia. Visit cpfair.org.
Murray Company Realtors in Griffin offer a wonderful riverfront family home. This two-story Victorian-style home located off Highway 18 along the Flint River features 3 bedrooms with 2 full and 1 half bath, open living room, and a full finished basement. Situated on more than 24 acres with a view of the Flint River, this beauty is over 3,300 square feet. Call Mark Hawkins today to view this lovely home. Looking to buy, sell, or rent? Murray Company Realtors is ready to meet your real estate needs.
Welcome back to the Flint River Coaches Show with head coach Josh Dare. I'm your host, David Carden. Coach, we talked about Brett Williamson with those two big quarterback keepers getting y'all down into the red zone, and then struggling to get that ball punched in. You said it was being one-dimensional that night. Anything y'all looking to do different in the red zone moving forward?
Well, you know, one thing that we've had a lot of success with in the red zone is getting Parker out on the edge with the pass run option. So that's definitely something we're going to continue to do, and that's something we really like to do with him because he's really smart. He knows, and we like to do it on early downs. That way he's not having to force a pass in. So if it's first down and he rolls out and he doesn't have either one, he can just kind of throw the ball away and second down, and we still got 3 chances to do it. So no, it's just like I said, we were just so one-dimensional with 2 quarterbacks down that it was tough for us to do much. But yeah, so and then you know we scored the week before with Luke on the tackle eligible. So I mean, we're going to look to throw it when we get into the red zone. That way, when teams see that on film, they won't go into their goal line. And then if they're not in the goal line, we may just kind of sneak a run in. You know,
so kind of let Williamson pound it down through the middle.
Right, yep.
I know we've mentioned, kind of alluded to it a couple times already. Big game this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
First region game of the year.
Right.
And it's not Dawson Street anymore?
They changed their name. It's Bethlehem Temple Christian Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a mouthful. But, yeah, I mean, just a quality opponent. You know, they're as athletic as any team we're going to play. They're probably the most athletic team we'll play. If you miss a tackle, it can be 6 like that. They fly around, they fly to the football, and they hit you, man. They'll probably be the hardest hitting team we play all year. Like, because with their speed and their size, they're not scared to hit. They don't stop. They don't slow down for anybody. So they're a tough team because you watch them on film and they don't look like they're 100% disciplined and 100% sound in everything that they do. But the scary part is if you do miss that tackle, or if you do have that lapse where somebody's not holding down their responsibility, it's a touchdown. Just if we don't play hard and if we have any letdowns in coverages or letdowns in assignments, it's a touchdown. So we got to make sure that, you know, we've beat them pretty bad in the past. So this week of practice is going to be kind of tough because the kids come in thinking, oh, it's the same team that we played, and it's not the same team. This team is much better than the teams we've played in the previous years. You know, last year we played them, it was a 7-6 ball game at half. You know, we ended up taking over in the second half,
right.
But they're fast, and you don't know what defense they're going to be in. They're going to come out, and last year they put a guy in every gap, and they were all standing up, and when the ball was snapped, they came sprinting forward, and it kind of just shell-shocked us, and we didn't know how to handle it early on. So the second half, we got in the power eye and just went right at them, and that's when we started having some success against them. So just a very scary team, very, very talented, and they like to hit. So you know that's a good combo. So.
Will y'all spend some extra time with the defense in practice this week, trying to make sure they keep those gaps and make sure they keep those edges closed off?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to against a team like this, and we got to really emphasize the edge players. You know, you can't let the ball get outside of you. If they get to the sideline and they get to run in a straight line, that's when that's when they're dangerous. So yeah, we got to make sure that we don't get too far upfield, and just play sound defensive football. And then offensive it's going to be fun this week preparing for them because we're going to have to prepare against everything. You know, we're going to have the defensive coach over there and just putting that defense in whatever he wants, and we got to adjust to it no matter what the play's called because it's literally it's not even every possession. It's not like they run a 5-2 this possession and then a 4-3 this possession. They change every play. So I mean, there's times I was watching film and there's times they got a nose guard. Then the very next play, they had 2 linebackers standing up over the center, and then so it's going to be one of those things where they're trying to shock you and get a big play, and we can't allow it to happen. We got to stay under control and keep our composure and just find a way to make the block and talk. Got to communicate a lot against these guys because they're going to be moving, and if we can figure out who all we got to block when they're trying to put that much pressure. Same thing that happened to us against Gatewood. We were pressuring. Well, they busted one for 79.
Yep.
So if we can handle their pressure, we got an easy play. So that's what we got to do.
You saying they're changing defense a lot? Do they change players or the same players?
Same players are just moving them around.
Okay.
You know, so that you don't get the same look play after play.
Okay.
So one play that works this time, you can't call the next play because you don't know if they're going to be in that exact same thing. So you know, and we're going to run some read stuff against them. So now figuring out who the read guy is, you got to make sure you're not leaving two guys unblocked. You got to make sure you leave the one guy unblocked. And you know, we got guys pulling constantly, and if they walk down and they're inside our guy, we got to know we can't pull, or they're going to be staring down the quarterback as he's taking the snap. So a lot of things we got to prepare for this week. And you know, like I said, they're going to come ready to hit, and they're extremely fast, extremely athletic. We got to come ready to play Friday night.
Will be one of the, I know we've seen it a couple of times, y'all, this year. Y'all get up to the line, kind of get set, and see what the defense is doing.
No, we won't do that, because now we've gone from a 2-point stance with a 3-point stance with our guys. We're playing such big teams that we wanted to start cutting, and you can't cut from a 2-point stance. So which means you can't bluff from all right, once your hand goes down, you can't come up, right? So if we get up there and bluff, and then everybody comes up to look for the play, it's a false start, right? So it's kind of hard to do that now. So we just got to make sure everybody understands who they got. You know, it'll be something where we try to get the play in quick, get to the line quick. They can point out who they got, and then we go.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us today. Yeah. Thank you for your time. One more time, y'all are playing
Bethlehem Temple Christian Academy.
And that's going to be at East Coweta High School out on Highway 16?
Middle school.
East Coweta Middle School this Friday night, 7:30. Please come out and join and support Flint River Academy as they take on
Bethlehem Temple Christian Academy.
Thank you again, Coach Dare, and thank you for watching the Flint River Academy Coaches Show. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch all the Flint River action live on Legends 1370. See you next week.
Thank you for watching the Wildcats Football Coaches Show. Join Coach Dare and David Carden next week as they continue to review and preview all the Wildcats football games right here on Mountain Vision.
Let's go!
This is Mountain Vision.